Amina made baskets for a living while her husband was a cobbler. The two owned a shop in the market center, and their partnership made them go home with something they were proud of every day. Amina was so beautiful, and despite being a married woman, men would still flock around her, flirting with her and overpaying for her baskets. Amina, on the other hand, chose to be loyal to her husband. She did everything to make him comfortable, from washing, cleaning the home, and cooking his favorite meal. Manu and Amina lived peacefully and happily despite not having much as a family. 1 year down the line, Amina found out that she was pregnant, and she broke the news to Manu, her husband. The two decided to work more harder. Amina would make more baskets. On the other hand, Manu would make more shoes to display in their shop. The effort bore fruits because they made more sales and saved the money for their baby. 2 months later, Amina started having different food cravings, and Manu tried his best to satisfy his wife's cravings, but her love for chicken was too much. It made Manu to start digging into their savings to satisfy his wife's cravings. The craving was too much that it affected their relationship. Manu would say,
"My wife, I understand you have cravings, but we can't spend all our life savings buying chickens, and yet we need to save for our baby and our future."
Amina would frown, saying,
"Is it my fault that you cannot take care of me? Why can't you work harder like other men do and satisfy my cravings? I did not get myself pregnant."
The more the pregnancy progressed, the more Amina got tired and would make fewer baskets for their shop, and this resulted to reduction in sales in their shop, and Manu was forced to take up minor jobs to compensate on the low sales they were making. Amina's craving got worse to the extent she would wake up at night sobbing that she wants chicken. Manu learned to ignore her tantrums and slept because he was too exhausted after the works he had done during the day. When Amina saw this, she would creep out of bed at night and go and steal hens from her neighbor and slaughter them and fry them to her own liking. Manu got so busy and hardly noticed that his wife had chicken every day. Amina satisfied her craving by stealing from the neighbors until one day Mr. Malumbi, her neighbor, took a head count of his hens and noticed there was a reduction in numbers. Mr. Malumbi got worried and decided to set a trap to catch the thief, but Amina avoided all the traps and stole more hens. When Mr. Malumbi had had enough, he went to the witch doctor to help him to trap the thief and discipline him or her. The witch doctor told him,
"The best way to identify the thief is by making him or her to grow like a cock."
Mr. Malumbi quickly agreed to the decision, and the witch doctor did his thing. Mr. Malumbi went back home happily, knowing that he would finally catch the thief. The next day, after Manu had left for work, Amina sat outside to try and make a basket, but then she started coughing. Her cough prolonged until she started crowing like a cock. She cried for so long that she alerted her neighbor, Mr. Malumbi, who walked into her compound to check on what was going on. When Mr. Malumbi saw Amina was crowing, he laughed so loudly and said,
"So you are the thief who has been stealing my hens. You will remain like this until you and your husband pay me back all the hens you've stolen from me."
When Manu returned, he could not believe what had transpired. He was so angry at his wife, and he went to plead with Mr. Malumbi to reverse the curse, and he paid half of the money and promised to clear the rest. Amina learned her lesson, and she learned to control her cravings, and from that day, she hated chicken with all her heart. The end. If you have enjoyed this story, please remember to give it a like, subscribe, share if you can, and please drop your name on the comment section with wherever you're watching us from for me to give you a shout out on the next episode of Wonder Tales by Julian.